Hey, welcome back. Happy Hempsters. Dee Dee Taylor here, one of your hosts, along with I can't say a favorite, but she's one of my favorites. Actually, I love all of my team, so all equally.
Yes.
But Miss Beth.
I'm Cannabeth.
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
So thanks for coming back to the show. Well, I guess we could thank ourselves for finally making it back to the show.
Hope you weren't missing us too much.
Yeah,
It's been a little crazy.
It has been a little crazy. So I don't know if a lot of you know this who are our listeners, but I do a lot of work with the Kentucky Hemp Association. I am their new board president. And this past legislative session, we had a lot of stuff going on in the cannabis hemp realm. And we'll talk about that real quick with SB 202, but I spent a lot of time in Frankfurt and just on my phone and trying to work things out so we could keep our hemp beverages without all the added bullshit that they had put in. We were not successful, unfortunately. The new bill did pass and it was signed into law, and it makes hemp beverages, as of June 1st, I cannot carry anything over 5 milligrams.
Delta 9 THC.
Delta 9 THC or even Delta 8 THC.
Okay.
I think it's just a total,
really?
Whatever the THC is, it can't be over 5 milligrams.
I didn't even think about Delta 8.
Yeah,
we don't sell Delta 8
we
drinks.
don't sell Delta 8
but
drinks.
But another popular.
They are.
5 milligrams of Delta 8, you're not going to feel anything. You don't waste your money.
You don't even feel that much with a 5 milligrams,
of Delta 9. You don't. No.
But I think there was a few reasons why they did it. I have my theories, obviously. Mm-hmm. And obviously, I feel like our legislators literally handed over the hemp industry to big alcohol, at least the hemp beverages.
Yeah, they did.
So, and it was infuriating how this all went down. It was very sneaky. And I'm not going to get into all the details because I'm trying to keep things positive and being happy on here. I can bitch and moan later to you if you really want to hear the full story. But we have to get our products through a distributor now. We will have to be licensed if we are going to bother to carry these products. I just don't know how lucrative it would be or if it's worth it, because these 5 milligram drinks are being sold everywhere. And
I think they limited it to 5 because you're not going to feel a whole lot. So people
have to drink,
I'd rather have alcohol because I'm going to feel that. Whereas I have to drink a 4-pack.
Yeah. So the makers end up making more money because you have to buy 4 of them
to feel
anything. Right. When heaven forbid you couldn't just buy one freaking drink and be done and be buttered and enjoying life. Right. But no, you got to drink 4 of them. Well, it's kind of bullshit. It's very much bullshit. They tried to say that no one was there back in September, and I was. They tried to say, oh my God, there's a drink out there that's 100 milligrams. Well, if you read the back, it's 10 servings.
10 servings, right.
And it's got a reclosable lid. Mm-hmm. So there was just a lot of things that was a lot of skullduggery going on. And one of the representatives kind of, I'm just going to leave it right there. It was rough. And it really bothered me that we didn't end up stopping that. It bothered me a lot, actually. But
it bothered you that we didn't have more people fighting for the hemp industry.
Yep. But the thing is that we didn't have a lot of time.
No.
That was sneaky. It was so sneaky, and that's why they did it.
Right.
So we wouldn't have the time to do it. So here's what's going down, y'all. I am worried about next year. I really am. I'm worried about next year's legislative session. It seems like every year I have to worry for some fucking fucked up reason. But I am worried about next year. So I would implore you, if you are a friend of hemp, if you love hemp products, if you love my products, if you love any cannabis products, period, I implore you to donate to the Kentucky Hemp Association. And because we are the ones that are there, we are the ones that are fighting. It's not just me. I've got a team of people, and my board, they did show up. They were there. I had Katie Moyer. She drove all the way from Dawson Springs, and she's been busy rebuilding houses that were trashed in the tornadoes a couple years ago. So she's a busy, busy lady, but she was still there. She still showed up. Michael Adair, who is, he's a farmer. He showed up. Nick Johnson, farmer, he showed up. Another retailer, a couple other retailers in my space, they showed up. A few, actually. So we were there, but they wouldn't even let all of us talk. The representative that filed the bill, she got all the time in the world to make her case. But when we all get up there to talk, oh, it's limited. We ain't got much time. So they just tried to hurry us up.
Yeah.
And
so you
shut
knew
us
the bill was done.
Oh, the bill was done.
Money had already probably been put in the pocket.
Oh, yeah, for sure. No question about it. Oh, but we got to stop this loophole because it's, made weed legal. Recreational weed water. Yeah, weed water. What the fuck ever.
It is so less dangerous than alcohol. That's the thing.
Right?
And
even if you did have to, would you feel high? Probably. But tell me how you feel after a few beers.
And she said what one of those drinks was equal to drinking a fifth of vodka.
Oh, yeah.
That's what I'm like. There is no comparing a fifth of vodka to any type of cannabis.
You can tell she's never had one.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? But
Mm-hmm.
the sad part is all the other representatives and senators, they believe they believe them. Yeah. Right, they don't believe the people that are actually in the industry
research
working.
and science and talk to people every day.
So
use the products.
Exactly. So that part is just like, and then they said, well, nobody from the industry showed up. I'm like, yeah, we did. Mm-hmm. And why the fuck? You all know who I am. It's not like I'm not in your damn district. Mm-hmm. It's not like I've never talked to you before. Mm-hmm. Hello, why didn't you reach out to me? Mm-hmm. But they didn't. No. It was all planned. This was all planned, y'all. Yeah. So anyway, I'm worried about next year. What else they're going to try and fucking take away. Mm-hmm. So I need your all's help. Yeah. I want to make sure that this shit doesn't happen again. So if you have contacts in legislators, if you have friends that are legislators, if you can give money to the Kentucky Hemp Association, that would be so helpful. I cannot express that enough. Like, that would be super helpful.
Because the plan is to ban hemp.
Oh, well, I mean,
throughout the United
fucking
States.
Hope not.
So like they're doing in Texas. And I mean,
they're trying
everywhere.
Everything. Every damn state is. Even though we've already filed our lawsuit, we already know these products are legal, but my God, they got to stop this quote unquote loophole for intoxicating hemp. Well, what about the fact that you are promoting a federally illegal product, which is marijuana, but you're trying to close everything on a federally legal product, which is hemp? Make it make sense, people. Oh, well, let's just support medical, but it's not a legal, federally legal product.
Right.
If you ask me, the fucking states are committing RICO charges.
Right.
Because they are benefiting from an illegal, federally illegal product. Mm-hmm. Why there hasn't been some kind of movement on that is beyond me. Oh, but that's okay. Mm-hmm. But heaven forbid, let's go against that intoxicating hemp, because those are the, scare words that they use. Yeah. Intoxicating and synthetic. And it's all scare tactics. Mm-hmm. It's all scare tactics. But that also leads us into something else that we want to talk about today, which is the fact that, yes, you can use too much THC. Mm-hmm. Yes. You can feel overly inebriated in a high euphoric sort of way. Could there be some, is it going to kill you? No. Do you need to go to the emergency room? No. Probably not. This stuff will dissipate.
Wear off.
It will wear off. You just have to remember to breathe and to remember that it will go away. But also, if you all didn't know this, chewing on a peppercorn, and do you know what a peppercorn is? You know what a peppercorn is.
It's the little peppers that you put in your grinder.
That you put in your grinder. Get you a couple of those, chew on those. I'm telling you, it will bring the THC levels down. It does something in your brain that will turn off that little THC response. Mm-hmm. So chew on those. We also, CBD isolate helps bring it back down too. But the peppercorn really,
a lot more people are going to have peppercorn handy than. Yeah. But if you have straight CBD only, that's a great thing. As
Don't
well
use full spectrum because that still has THC in it. But the regular CBD isolate. So think about that. You don't need to freak out. But the number one thing is, don't buy shit product and listen to the people that know what they are talking about.
Dosages, because every time somebody has come to us and had a bad experience, they're like, I took too much, and they admit it. And
they almost always admit it.
Yeah, and we've sold and we said take half, and then they don't listen, and they come back and they're like, I should have listened to you. But that's why we need people working in the hemp industry to explain dosages, because the risk and side effects are always dosage related.
Always
dosage related. And
as long as you got good quality product.
Right.
Now, and you know what's in it. Right. That's important.
Now, I don't know. Yeah. If you're getting a hold of something with mold or.
Well, and not even that, but man, some of the products that are out there are completely mislabeled.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. So they'll put HHC, THCP, and not even put things on the label. JXD. So.
A lot of that shit is
sold
synthetic.
At the gas stations.
It's a lot of gas stations. It's a lot of the
those are synthetic, but they allow them in Kentucky.
They do.
They're approving those products, which I don't understand.
Well, they have approved some. Yep, and I agree with that. Some of those are. I'm just like
they're not good. They will make you nauseous. They will give you a head. I mean, just that cannabinoid alone can.
THCP is not a good one. THCO that one's not approved. That one's not allowed, which is acetate. We're not fans of HHC. Right. We're not fans of a few things. Yeah. That's why we don't sell them.
Yeah.
We try to stick.
We got the good shit here.
Yeah, we got the good shit here. But I think that's just important. Make sure you know what you're buying. Right. And my God, don't buy this. Don't buy your cannabis products at a damn gas station. That is so ignorant.
So that's where a lot of these, state representatives or
I know
they're like, we got to get these out of here. That's so easy for the kids to get. And that's where this is all getting a bad name.
Yep.
If they came into our store and saw who we are selling to is grandma, grandpa, whole families come in, so they don't understand what we're doing. We're not getting the children high.
No.
So
my God, we aren't.
Right.
And most stores that are like us, Beth, they aren't either.
No.
They're just, it's a lot of the vape stores and a lot of the gas stations, and a lot of these people are they're foreigners, and I'm just going to say it. And a lot of them,
they don't know what it is. They know that people want it,
they don't
but
care
they don't. Yeah, they don't. Yeah.
A lot of them are just in the business to make money, as much money as they possibly can, and they do not care.
Right. Yeah. I sell everything.
Yeah. And I had that conversation with one of the cabinet workers the other day. I said, they are the ones that give us a bad name. He's like, I know. He goes, trust me, I know. He goes, they go into their stores all the time and they see things that are amiss. And it's just a shame that stores like us are the ones that are feeling the brunt of that.
Exactly. Yeah. Because if they lose that product, it's no big deal to us, but that's our whole store.
That's our whole store.
So it makes you mad when somebody else who isn't in the industry endangers your industry.
For sure. So, and then it makes me mad. I mean, it makes me sick and mad because I love what I do and I love helping others. And it's been the most rewarding job I've ever had in my life.
Too. I know.
So when others are putting that in harm's way of me not being able to keep doing it because the legislators, it really pisses me off. And the more that we can spread that you should not buy the products there, I will scream it from the rooftops. I've always said, my God, why would you get your CBD product at a gas station anyway? Right. And that was way back when it was CBD. I remember when Speedway was selling CBD. I'm like, what? Come on, people. And even stuff that's being sold like at Kroger, they can't even advise you on any of it. Nobody knows what the hell they're talking about. You go into a liquor store on one of those drinks, they're not going to tell you either. They just sell it.
Right.
They just sell the products. And it's infuriating.
Taking product out of our store and you can only sell it in others who don't care.
Who don't care. Yeah.
Yeah, let's we need to talk about these risks and side effects. So with I understand there, we talk about the benefits so much, you know, but there are risks. What everybody knows, the side effects are red eyes, increased thirst, aka cotton mouth, increased appetite, aka munchies.
Water. It's not bad for you.
So those are not scary side effects. Those aren't like the prescription side effects.
A lot of people that complain about the dry mouth.
Yeah, dry mouth. It's like, just drink some water.
Okay. Do you want to know a little secret about dry mouth?
Yeah.
So I heard this from a very, very good stoner. Just chew on your tongue.
It will release
your mouth and tongue will.
It does,
but it does.
Bite your tongue down.
Saliva.
Yeah,
so just not like hard, but just kind of chew on it, like you kind of with a piece of gum,
right?
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But you will get saliva.
That's funny. I never realized that.
That was a true stoner right there. Can't get water. You can't get something to drink. You start chewing on your tongue.
The main thing that most people struggle with is anxiety and paranoia. That is terrifying. That will cause increased heart rate and make people feel like they're dying or something's really wrong. So that is dose dependent. Like I said, a small amount, and that's what we teach. You're not going to have that experience. You take those higher doses and it's not fun.
Have you ever had that experience?
I have never had that much anxiety and paranoia that I couldn't control it. I mean, I've had the heart racing and going, but you take a few breaths, you're like, I'm okay.
So yes, so before I got in this business, my mom had passed, so I was like, I smoked, obviously, and I had some, but I was like, this will help. Well, I was already experiencing anxiety anyway, and then I smoked. And usually whatever mood I'm in, that THC will intensify
That's
that
almost
mood.
For everybody.
I think that is almost for everybody.
Yeah.
So I got to be in a good place before I do really do THC.
Yeah.
I can do little bits amount here and there. That's no big deal. But this time I had way too much. Like I thought I was going to die. I thought I was going to be the first person that died from cannabis and I was going to ruin it for everybody. Like I really did. And then I was upset about that because I'm like, no, because people need it and it's going to be me. And it literally was just anxiety and paranoia.
And what happened to you?
I ended up going to bed and I just laid there and just calmed myself down and worked through it, and eventually I was fine.
And get your mind off of it. I say put on a movie, once you get some focus and calming down that heart rate. But running around in a panic going, I'm going to die, you need to take me to the hospital, that just increases things. So I know
you got to be with someone that knows that they can tell you, breathe.
Right.
Especially if it's your first time ever trying it.
I know. Because you don't know what to expect.
You don't
it's
know what
not
to
like
expect.
Intoxicating.
No,
so
it's
that's
different.
why I hate using that word. Because you're not intoxicated.
No.
You have a change of perception.
Yes.
So it's how your brain deals with that change of perception.
Yes. I mean, euphoric feeling.
Right. Euphoria. Right.
I don't even know how to explain it either, but it is different. It's nothing like drinking.
No.
You're
still in full control.
Oh, full control.
You may doubt yourself, but you are completely. But yeah, drowsiness is another one. You may feel a little sleepy, but that's sometimes the effect people are looking for. So we get concerned, though, like with our elderly that start using THC in the night, getting up, to go to the bathroom to make sure that you're not feeling drowsy or dizzy from your drowsiness. And so these are things that we get to explain to everybody.
That's
and
right.
they do great. Nausea. So increased THC, it can get that kind of spinning in your head and you can.
And it's even worse when you mix it with alcohol.
Yes. That will double the chance of your throwing up. You drink and then smoke, you're probably going to throw up.
You are rude. I did that one time. I learned my lesson. I did it one time. I was partying with some girls, and this was way back even before I was married.
Right.
And we were smoking and drinking, and I was drunk and high, and it was the worst feeling ever.
Yeah.
It was horrible.
But usually after you throw up, you're fine.
Usually.
Right? Yeah. Get some of that out of your system. But the scariest one I think that we've come across is THC induced psychosis, and it is so rare. We did study that in our cannabis course. It is extremely rare, but it can happen. And what that means is that you try THC and you end up in a psychotic state that you can't tend to get out of. You're kind of stuck in that state. You need some help from that, and then never to use THC again.
Right. So, and that is extremely rare, right?
Right.
Now, let me ask you this. When that happens, were there already issues of mental
Everybody that I've talked to that's had that said no.
That it was never had any issues, that it was just like that was the first time.
Right. It triggered something in them. And yeah, like seeing things and paranoia, things that that normal people don't experience with THC, they experience, and it's terrifying. But it's usually, I don't even think it's low doses. It's usually you take too much at once and just something clicks. And nobody knows, who's going to be affected by it. So if you're always starting or using a low dose, those chances are going to go down.
Yeah, I would think.
Yeah.
But if someone has a mental illness, like they already experienced psychosis,
right.
Like probably using cannabis would not be a good idea.
Right. You need to, or it can help.
Or it can, and I have heard that too, like people with schizophrenia.
Exactly.
That it actually can help them.
Right.
So it really is all dependent upon the person.
Yes. Yeah. Everybody's completely different in the way they process this. So we need to make people aware. It's not, we do tout those benefits and we do say it's safe, but because we are educated and we educate people that use it. So everyone that we know that uses it is doing great. You know, they feel better. They're,
but if God forbid you get too high, eat a peppercorn.
Eat a peppercorn.
Eat a peppercorn.
Well, and THC induced or THC caused vomiting. Yeah. Or they call it, there's a word for it now, and I can't remember.
It's I know what you're talking about.
Like when you're throwing it's a funny because it sounds funny. It's like you're screaming and scromiting. I think that's what it's called. They call it scromiting. I'm pretty sure that's what it is.
Oh,
but
that doesn't sound good.
You can put capsaicin on your stomach, and that will relax it, and it will stop that vomiting.
Oh,
that peppercorn and that capsaicin thing is very interesting. So those are two natural remedies that if you do experience that, you could.
And we're all about the natural remedies here anyway, obviously. But that makes sense.
Yeah,
that's pretty interesting.
That crazy?
Yeah, that is pretty interesting. Yeah. So y'all keep that in mind. Just be an adult, be responsible, responsible use, education. That is all so important. And by all means, you have questions about what we're working on here or what the Kentucky Hemp Association is doing to help, keep these products all legal. Reach out to us. I'm almost always available one way or another. It might take me a little bit of time to respond, but send an email, info@502hemp.com. Our website, 502hemp.com.
Yeah. Email 502hemp@gmail.com.
Yeah. So you can, you can send an email info. You can get on the website and do the little chat box. I mean, somebody responds to you. So by all means, we're here. We're here to answer questions. You can also call our store, 502-654-7100. Beth or me or Danielle or Laura or Jody or
Kristen or
Daniel. We can all help you. It's not just me and Beth, but the whole team. I am blessed beyond belief with my team. So they make me look good. I ain't gonna lie. Because they're out front, but more so than I am now, just because with all the other responsibilities that I have. And sometimes I miss talking to my customers.
I know, it's fun to take
sometimes
a shift.
I don't mind working a shift because it is kind of fun.
Well, we learn things.
We do.
We discovered THCV is very good for autism.
Yeah.
We never had that connection.
Would have never had that connection. Not the THCV. I would not have thought that because we've always
I've learned a lot more, but
it kind of makes sense because that is a focus. Do you know what I mean? So I can kind of see that.
I know. But our customers teach us.
I know. So we learn too, because they're experimenting as well.
Right.
And this was an older gentleman with autism. And sweetheart.
Sweet.
Oh, what a sweetheart. Just has the biggest crush on Danielle.
I know,
So cute. He just loved playing thumb war with her. But yeah, his dad, I guess, or caretaker, I probably shouldn't just assume it's his dad, but he's like, he's the ladies' man, but these are the only things that work for him. Right. And that's just, that makes me happy. Right. He said, because he would have some violent outbursts, he said that completely is just
with
tainted.
The THCV.
Yeah, with the THCV is in Victor.
That's non-psychoactive, so that just helps. I know. So and they'll pass along up front if they hear something new. So, report, because we're learning from each other.
We're always learning. I think that's the best thing and the greatest thing about this industry is that we're all always learning. So definitely reach out. You have any questions, we're always here to help. Thanks for listening too. And I'm trying not to rant about the whole hemp beverages, but if you come in the store and you ask, I will give you the full story. And I'll tell you names too, but I won't do it on my podcast. Thanks for listening, everybody. We will be back on a regular schedule now.
Thanks.